The year is 1805 and the place is Cairo. The ruler of Egypt, Muhammad Ali Pasha, had set about the business of reforming the Egyptian army along European lines. But there was a problem. The old Mamluk power structure was still very much intact, and many of the old Mamluk military elite were not exactly thrilled at being asked to join this new, untested army. They were suspicious of these European weapons and tactics. Was this new army even any good, and what would happen to their status if they joined? Enter our story's protagonist, Abdul Rahman. He was a young man from a prominent Mamluk family. Like most Mamluks, he grew up outside of Egypt, specifically in the Ottoman province of Rumelia, where many Mamluk military leaders had come from. When he was young, his father sent him to live with an uncle in Cairo so that he could get a good education and learn the intricacies of statecraft and swordsmanship. By the time he was 20, he was an accomplished swordsman, having learned the art of combat with the saber and the shield. He also knew the traditional Mamluk fighting methods, which made use of a curved sword, a dagger, and a short stick. This combination of weaponry gave the Mamluk soldiers a distinct advantage in battle, one that the Ottomans had come to fear. But while Abdul Rahman excelled in martial arts, he also loved poetry, literature, and the arts. In fact, he had written several poems himself. Now that he was old enough, his father wanted him to go to Istanbul and begin his training as an official. But when he arrived in Cairo, he found himself summoned to a meeting with Muhammad Ali himself. It seems that ever since he came to power, Muhammad Ali had been trying to reform the Egyptian army. He had founded a military school and brought in European advisors, and was even planning on setting up a military academy modeled after the French one. The main goal was to create a modern standing army that would be loyal to the central government rather than to foreign powers or local lords. But many of the old Mamluk military elite were not convinced. When he summoned Abdul Rahman, it was because he wanted to test his skills against someone who had grown up in the traditional way. He told Abdul Rahman that he needed to prove himself if he wanted to rise in the ranks of the new army. Of course, Abdul Rahman didn't back down. He challenged Muhammad Ali to a duel. If he won, he and his people would be given a place of honor in the new army. If he lost, he would leave Egypt and never return. The stakes were high, so much so that even the Sultan agreed to let the two duelists choose their own weapons. Now, you might think that this is a no-brainer. Just use a gun, get it over with quickly, and claim your prize. But this was a test of skill, not just power. Plus, guns were relatively new in Egypt, and there weren't a lot of people who knew how to use them properly, so they chose swords. Muhammad Ali chose one of his European officers, Colonel Österreich, to be his proxy in the fight. And what happened next surprised everyone. Using his traditional Mamluk fighting style, Abdul Rahman disarmed and defeated Österreich. He then went up against Muhammad Ali's other European officers and did the same to them. It was a rout. As spectators crowded into the arena to watch the fights, some began to chant, "No innovation, no innovation." But others shouted back, "Long live the Sultan, long live the Sultan." When it was over and Abdul Rahman had shown the strength and the skill of the Mamluks, Muhammad Ali was impressed. He kept his word and gave the Mamluks the place of honor that they had requested. Not only that, but he made Abdul Rahman his chief of staff. And soon the young man from a prominent Mamluk family was sent to France to learn more about the military and bring back whatever he could to improve the Egyptian army. During his 3 years in France, Abdul Rahman wrote poetry about his experiences and about the duel. But when he returned to Egypt, he took up his post and continued to serve the Sultan well. He became a symbol of the blending of the old and the new in Egyptian society. Although he always remained loyal to his Mamluk heritage, he was a modern man who understood the value of education and change. He served the Sultan for many years and helped to modernize the Egyptian army, all the while remaining true to himself. Thank you for watching this episode. To learn more about the fascinating history of the Middle East, check out the series in the description below. Until next time.